It was recently brought to my attention that it's been quite a while since I've done any kind of real gear related content, and I wanted to change that with a What's in My Camera Bag Travel Edition video this week. Now, I always use two different bags. The actual bags themselves vary from time to time, but the purpose of each bag always remains the same. And the first bag I use is kind of like an everyday carry. This is a bag that I use when I don't have to carry a ton of stuff. Maybe I'm just going on a quick day trip, or maybe I'm just going to a local coffee shop to do a little bit of work. But the bag that I'm using right now for that is the Atlas Athlete Pack, which is an absolutely fantastic bag. No issues with this whatsoever. It's a perfect bag if you don't have to carry a ton of gear, or maybe you have a really small kit. I did a video review on this quite a few months ago. If you're interested in that, I'll put a link in the description below if you want to take a look at that. But the bag that I've been using for a while now for longer multi-day trips is this, the Shimoda Explorer 40 series. And the 40-liter version is absolutely perfect for my setup. I'm always trying to downsize everything that I'm carrying, so I'm always trying to travel as light as possible. And the 40-liter is really perfect for me. When I first got it, it was a little difficult to fit everything in, but I think I've really narrowed everything down quite a bit, and I got it to a point to where this is the absolute perfect size for me. So let me lay this down here. We'll start right here on the outside. I got quite a few new things this year. I should say, yeah, I guess this year I got them. This isn't new right here, but it's something that I haven't used in a while, and it's the a Think Tank SD card holder. I've been using the Pelican hardshell case for quite a while, and I kind of alternate between that one and this one for really no apparent reason other than just to try something a little bit different. But this is great. I believe it holds, 9 different SD cards, and real no frills. It's got nice Velcro. It's little straps so you can tether it to something so you don't lose it. It's not obviously a hard shell case, and it's not obviously waterproof. So the Pelican one that I used to use quite a while, and I still use it from time to time, is probably the better solution. But sometimes I just want to just change things up a little bit. But this is a great solution for memory cards. What else? Rocket blower, it's pretty self-explanatory. You got to have that. Clean off your lens and your sensors. This is my backup storage solution that I've been using for quite a while as well. It's a 500 gigabyte Samsung T5, and this is what I use when I am traveling. So this isn't obviously a permanent backup solution, but I think it's great when you're on the road and you dump all your video or photo from your camera on your computer, and then from your computer onto this drive. And then when I get home, I dump everything off onto a more permanent solution. But this is great for just on the go, backup. It's super tiny. It doesn't weigh hardly anything. So I haven't had any issues with that. Now, what else is in here? Possibly the best rain cover solution known to man. Well, I don't know about that, but it's definitely probably the cheapest, just your standard shower cap cover. That's what these are called. I use these a lot for if I'm shooting in the rain and I'm in that situation where I just need to pull the rain cover off real quick to capture a photo and put this back on to try and alleviate water getting on the front of my lens element. This is a great solution for that, and I think they only cost a couple cents for one of them. So what else? Zeiss lens cleaner. This is great. I really only use this though when I'm shooting around the coast. So I try not to use this a whole lot, but it does work well. Spray it right on a lens cloth and wipe whatever's off on your lens element. I usually try and use this to knock off any kind of dust or anything that's on my actual lens. I try to avoid at all costs actually wiping the lens off, but when I have to, this works really well. And I find that most common scenario for this, or for me needing this, is when I get ocean water on the front of my lens, because you can't really blow that off, and this is a great mild solution to clean that up. What else? Lens and body caps. This is to my Fuji X-T3 here, and this is for my Sony a7R II. Filters. So this is the Mindshift Filter Hive Mini kind of case. I used to have the full-size Filter Hive, but it was a little bit of an overkill. I think it held like 12 or 15 filters, of which I only used maybe like 4 or 5 slots. So I got this Filter Hive Mini a while ago, and it's perfect. It's Velcro. It's got little accordion dividers right like that, and it holds the perfect amount of filters for me. I have I use the Denney filter system. This is the Denney 6-stop ND filter. I have a couple grads as well. This is a, what is this one? Soft edge grad. I think I also have a medium edge grad right here. I don't really use them a whole lot though anymore. I know I mentioned that in a video a while ago that really the only filter I use anymore is a circular polarizer. I shouldn't say that. I still use the 6-stop. I also have a 10-stop somewhere. I don't know why it's not in here. But really neutral, just solid ND filters, and then this polarizer. That's really all I use. But Nissy's fantastic. I have never had any issues with them. They're actually, them and Polar Pro are really the only filter companies I've ever used, and I haven't had an issue with either one of those. So those work great. They do exactly what they are intended to do. This is new for me. I'm kind of a late adopter. I know this isn't real new technology, but this is the, what do you call this? The DJI Osmo Pocket, which is a pretty cool toy. I haven't really played with this a whole lot, but it's, I don't know. It's kind of neat. I think it's one of those things that I'm hoping that it will make me feel a little bit more comfortable doing and kind of like vlogging in public. It's, I don't know, I have a hard time holding the, big camera up to my face and talking into it when there's a lot of people around, but this thing's pretty cool. Like I said, I haven't had a whole lot of time to play with it. I just got it just a couple days ago, but it's pretty cool. I like how small it is, and I think the case that DJI made for it is pretty cool. It's pretty streamlined. I might turn this off. But I like how it just kind of collapses down and you can stick it right in your pocket. So I think that's pretty neat. I'm looking forward to that. I think I'll use that more often, and I'm hoping that it'll make me feel a little bit more comfortable doing more on location stuff. I think that is everything in this top section here. Now, as far as this area here, I don't think I have anything in here. Oh, rain cover, just standard rain cover for a bag. But I usually put some kind of jacket or something down in here for a plane ride or for whatever destination I happen to be going to. Now, as far as the back goes here, let me pull these back and see if I can open this up without everything falling out. So let's see. Fingers crossed here. All right. There we go. So that's the way I have it set up right now. I normally have my Sony a7R II in 16:35 G Master, which I'm filming on as a second camera right now. But this is usually the basic setup of everything. And in the laptop sleeve right here, I usually put either my 15-inch MacBook Pro, which is I think a 2017 model. I know Shimoda says this is built for a 13-inch laptop, but my 15-inch fits in there pretty well. It's a tiny bit snug, but there's really no issue moving it in and out. And a lot of times lately I've been using this. This is an older iPad Air. And I'm thinking about getting an iPad Pro as well. I'm hearing a lot of people talking about using that as a computer to travel with, but this is an iPad Air. I really haven't had any issues with this. It's absolutely fantastic to surf the web on and, edit a couple photos here and there. So that's pretty cool. I usually like to use electronics until they absolutely, stop working. So I've had that for I don't know how many years, but it's great to travel with. And before I forget, I know I mentioned this in a video, I think 2 weeks ago, but I'm pretty excited that this video is actually being sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with more than 25,000 classes. And some of my favorite classes are Sean Dalton's Adobe Lightroom, Finding Your Unique Editing Style, and Ian Norman's Nightscapes, Landscape Astrophotography course. So whether you want to fuel your curiosity, creativity, or even career, Skillshare is a perfect place to learn some new skills and expand your craft. Now, Skillshare is giving away a free 2-month trial with unlimited access to my subscribers, so click the link in the description below. And after that, it's only around $10 a month. And if you get a premium membership, you'll get unlimited access so you can join the classes and communities that can drastically improve your landscape photography and post-processing skill set. So a big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this week's video. I really do appreciate it. So as far as just little kind of pockets and baggies and stuff, I think Shimoda makes some of the best little storage cubes out there. This is the small. I think they make a medium and a large. I know I have a large, or maybe it's an extra large, but I use that kind of for at home, just to store all kinds of tons of random wires and chargers. You accumulate so much stuff over the years, half of that stuff I don't even know what it belongs to, but I know as soon as I throw it out, I'm going to end up needing it. So I keep all that stuff. But this is the Shimoda case that I use to travel with. And I usually put everything related to power in here. So what's in here? I have batteries. This is for my Sony a7R II. This is batteries to my Fuji X-T3. And these little think tank, little kind of battery holders are great. They're no frills. There's nothing fancy about these, but it just kind of keeps everything a little bit more organized and alleviates you having to have batteries just kind of floating around in your bag. So I like to keep that I like the way that helps me to keep my batteries organized. These are for Sony, these are for Fuji, and then Fuji battery chargers, any kind of cables. This is a Mophie battery bank that I use. It's a small one. I don't know how many milliamp this is. I've had it for a while too, but it charges my my iPhone 8 Plus, I think 2 or 3 times over. And I can also, you can charge anything that's a USB with this. So that works great. I always bring that everywhere I go. And then up here is just kind of a little dongle attachment things. Here's a you know, what do you call these things? I guess it's for my MacBook Pro, so I can have a bunch of different USB-C, USB, micro SD, SD card slots, all that kind of stuff. So I have all of that right there on that side. But yeah, these Shimoda little bags are great. And like I said, I try to keep everything related to power in this bag here. So that way, if there's anything power related, I can just grab this giant, or not giant, but this very bright blue bag, and there won't be any kind of confusion of exactly what's in it. Plus the back of it is clear, which is always a nice touch. These red whips, I've mentioned these in a video before too. These are awesome. They're super cheap. They're just cable ties, but they are the best cable ties in the history of the world. I've got a ton of them laying around, but those are cool. I'll link all this stuff in the description below as well if you want to take a closer look at that. I have, these are filters for my Fuji X-T3. These are Polar Pro. This is the ND8 with the built-in polarizer. I don't use that one a whole lot because I use my Fuji X-T3 for video most of the time. This is usually the one that I put on my my Fuji. This is the just a standard ND8, but these are great. I haven't had any issues with these at all. And then as far as like audio goes, when I'm recording, I use the Zoom H1 handy recorder. This is great. It's pretty small. I think they make smaller ones now, but this records very clean audio and it's super simple to use as well. And you just kind of stick it in your pocket. So that's always good. And then as far as on-camera audio, I use this. This is the Rode Video Micro. This is great as well. Not a whole lot to say about these kind of things, but it works. Rode, pretty much everything I've ever used from Rode works well. And also have the Rode Lav mic. I don't have the new the fancy wireless solution yet. I don't even know if I will get it actually, but this is just your standard wired Lav mic right there. But you know, once again, no frills. It does exactly what it says it's going to do, and it always does it well. I have a Sony remote shutter, which it's one of those things that I absolutely never ever use. I always use a 2-second timer, but for some reason, this always makes it in my bag. I bring it everywhere I go because I'm always afraid that I will end up needing it. That seems to happen to me all the time, where I think I don't need something, I put it away or throw it away, and as soon as it's out of sight, then I instantly need it. So I bring it everywhere I go, just in case. This is the filter adapter to my Nissi filter system. This is the V5-100 holder system, which not a whole lot to say about that. I know there's an upgraded version to this out there, but it works well. The filters are a little bit difficult to put in there. I guess it's probably better that they're a little bit too tight than too loose, but it does the trick. These little Peak Design bags, I don't know if they still do this, but pretty much everything that you buy from Peak Design comes in some kind of little bag, as long as it's like an accessory. And I keep these bags and I always stuff them with lens cloths. And I use those Zeiss microfiber lens cloths. And these are great for just wiping off anything that happens to be on your lens. And I think these little bags make great storage solutions for just anything that's kind of tiny. These are step-up rings. Once again, I put them in the Peak Design bag. Step-up rings for the filter system. Also step-up rings for my Polar Pro filter setup as well. Those are pretty self-explanatory. I only use, I think, 2 of them though, mainly because I have drastically reduced the amount of lenses that I own. I actually own 3 lenses. This is my newest one right here, which is the Sony 100 to 400 G Master, which is an absolutely tremendous lens. I love this lens. I did a video all about super telephotos not too long ago, and this was the star of the show, of course, for that video. But this lens is absolutely tremendous. Definitely my favorite lens that I've been using right now. And then I have the, I mentioned the Sony 16 to 35, which I'm filming on right now, the G Master, and that's attached to my Sony a7R Mark II. I'll overlay a little quick B-roll so you can take a quick look at that as well. So those are my 2 Sony lenses, and then I also shoot all my videos on the Fuji X-T3, which I'm filming on right now, and I have the 10 to 24 lens for that camera, and absolutely fantastic. I've been using the Fuji X-T3 and that lens combination for maybe 3 months now for all my video work, and I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. And then that's almost it. This is the Black Diamond head torch. This is a fantastic headlamp. I use this. I like to shoot in the early morning, so sunrise, and you're almost always hiking to your location in the dark. So this is a great solution for hands-free illumination. And then the last thing in here is this little toolkit and I put this in a video before too as well. This is just a moleskin case, but I put all kinds of little just Arca Swiss plates, Allen wrenches, just really any kind of tiny little tool that I might need for whatever kind of various reasons. I put them all in here, and I also like it because it's bright orange and it's easy to find in the dark, which is a very similar reason why I like the Shimoda bags, because it's very bright and it's easy to find. And then, last but not least, I always save these little silica gel packs. These are great for if you're ever shooting in any kind of very cold climate where you could have any kind of frozen precipitation or really humid climates. This is great just to kind of absorb any kind of moisture that could be trapped in your bag. These come in just about everything, so I always take them and throw them in my bag for a little while. But that is pretty much everything that I bring on a multi-day trip, outside of my clothes and everything, but everything that's photography and kind of computer related, that's everything. So if you have any questions about anything, definitely leave them in the comment section below, and I guarantee I will get back in touch with you. And like I said, I'll put links to everything in the description below. They'll all be Amazon affiliate links, so if you end up purchasing the product, I get a tiny bit of commission, but it all adds up, and it's greatly appreciated. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you enjoyed this week's video, if you could give it that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And as always, I really do appreciate you watching this week's video, and I'll see you next week. Bye.